In this question, you will be asked to give your opinion about a familiar topic. After you hear the question, you will have 15 seconds to prepare your response and 45 seconds to speak.
Some people like to take a lot of photographs at family gatherings or meetings with friends in order to remember these special occasions. Others prefer not to take photographs when they see their family and friends for special occasions. Which do you prefer? Explain why.
Please prepare your answer after the beep. Please begin speaking after the beep.
In this question, you will read a short passage about a campus situation and then listen to a talk on the same topic. You will then answer a question using information from both the reading passage and the talk. After the question, you will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and 60 seconds to speak.
Read an announcement on the university website. You will have 45 seconds to read the announcement. Begin reading now. Now, listen to two graduate students discussing the announcement.
Hey, did you see this?
Yeah, I was a little disappointed.
Well, it's true that there really aren't a lot of grad students in there.
I know, but I just don't see why that's a bad thing. I think it's perfect the way it is now.
Oh? Why is that?
Well, I mean the fact that it's never packed. That's exactly why we like it. It's a quiet space to sit and think. And it's really nice to have a place to spread out our books on the table, especially when we're working on research projects.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
And since we have a lot of work as graduate students, it's really nice for us to have a space that isn't noisy and crowded.
Yeah, and if they do this, it won't be that way anymore. In all fairness, though, the undergrads do need somewhere to go, right? Especially since there are more of them now than there used to be.
I know. I just feel like to really address that problem, the university should designate extra places for them specifically.
Like where?
Well, I know they're building a new dormitory, so maybe they could add a study space for them there. And that way they could leave this one just for us.
Hey, that's a pretty good idea.
The woman expresses her opinion about the plan described in the announcement. Briefly summarize the plan. Then state her opinion about the plan and explain the reasons she gives for holding that opinion.
Please prepare your answer after the beep. Please begin speaking after the beep.
In this question, you will read a short passage on an academic subject and then listen to a talk on the same topic. You will then answer a question using information from both the reading passage and the talk. After the question, you will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and 60 seconds to speak.
Read an announcement on the university website. You will have 45 seconds to read the announcement. Begin reading now. Now, listen to part of a lecture in a business class.
So, here's an example of how this actually worked in the United States and Europe. Now, you're a little too young to remember this brand, but many years ago, a car company became really popular because of these very small cars. These vehicles were cute and really sporty. In fact, lots of people drove them. After a number of years, however, car styles changed and cars became larger. Eventually, the company stopped making the small cars. Well, about 10 years ago, the company decided to produce this type of car again. The company thought that the sporty look and its small size would be attractive to lots of people today, especially people living in cities. See, this car drives through crowded city streets easily and can be parked in pretty tight spaces. But the little cars from the past also used a lot of gasoline. Nowadays, most consumers prefer cars with engines that are fuel efficient, right? So the company recognized this trend and redesigned the cars to have more efficient engines. The cars have the same cute, sporty look, but this version uses less fuel. And in fact, they have become really popular, with today's models selling quite well.
Explain brand revival and how the example from the professor's lecture illustrates it.
Please prepare your answer after the beep. Please begin speaking after the beep.
In this question, you will listen to a short lecture. You will then be asked to summarize important information from the lecture. After you hear the question, you will have 20 seconds to prepare your response and 60 seconds to speak.
Listen to part of a lecture in a biology class.
In the rainforest, many animals live mainly in the canopy, in the treetops. This allows these animals to avoid predators that live on the rainforest floor. However, animals can't just stay in one tree all the time. There wouldn't be enough food there. They have to move in between the trees to find food. But moving between trees, which may be far apart from each other, isn't an easy task for some mammals that can't fly. But some mammals have developed special ways of traveling through the trees without descending to the ground. So, some mammals have developed special physical features that allow them to move between trees. While they can't fly, they do have sort of wing-like appendages that help them to glide. So they can jump and then stay aloft in the air for a little while, long enough to get from one tree to another and avoid predators on the ground. For example, there's a small mammal, a type of lemur, that has flaps of skin in between its front and back legs, which look kind of like a bird's wings. So when a lemur jumps and stretches out its legs, these flaps of skin catch the air and help carry it to the next tree. But not every mammal that lives in the trees has these special features. So some mammals rely on physical force to travel between trees and find food. They take advantage of their own body weight to move or bend the trees closer together so that they can move from one tree to another. There's a large species of ape, the orangutan, that does this. If an orangutan sees some fruit in a nearby tree that it can't quite reach, well, the orangutan wraps itself around the trunk of the tree it's in and starts to sway back and forth. This movement bends the tree over so that the orangutan can just reach to the branch of the other tree and pull itself across.
Using points and examples from the lecture, explain how mammals such as the lemur and the orangutan are able to live primarily in the treetops.
Please prepare your answer after the beep. Please begin speaking after the beep.